If you can't admit what it is that you actually need, that conversation got brought up. That's where logic went out. When I pointed to those stats of, okay, what's the outcome of those households? Like, great, you can be happy, the women can be happy. Great, I hear that. What will happen to the children? What is the product of that household? What's the result on society at the larger whole? Like, nobody wants to take that level on. It's just, oh, I'd be happier. Go do it. Cool if you think that'll work. And hey, baby girl, here's some logic a bit further. How do you deal with this over here? When I brought up those statistics, I didn't even want to get into it here on the call, but that's verbatim what you're sharing is what came back. All of a sudden, it was discrediting. When I said earlier, it became a conversation about the black plight. It became a conversation about black men being incarcerated. I was like, wait a minute, we were just talking about two women and household with boys and girls, children. Oh, well, these surveys come from black people, or black people don't answer surveys. Well, that would make it data coming from white and Asian. So wouldn't that make it that it's still a factual statistic? These things happen, black or not black. Why are we even talking about black? Oh, well, you can't, that was back in the day. This is like Jim Crow lynching. And do I have to tell you about how they took apart the black communities? And like, I know all that, but we're talking about right here and now today, households without fathers. What the fuck does any, and that's where I just got perplexed. It went so far off there. I'm like, what are we discussing? Where did this, and that was the part that got me because I've repeatedly been acknowledged for. She appreciates me being the type to be open-minded and to listen to others' views and opinions. And by the end of this conversation, I'm like, wait a minute, I asked one question and I was in a debate of 3 different arguments of how the factual data, where it came from, who said it. Oh, well, black people don't answer this, so this came from white people. Like, these are black creators, black, white creators, men and women, everybody. Like, this is just data. And I realized you just dismissed it. We went into all, and it was like factual. How do you not know? Let me tell you, let me educate you. And like, I'm confused. I'm like, what? Oh, I've seen it in my mom. I've seen it in my partner. I've seen it in my ex-wife. The modern woman conversation. They're all human. They're all, inside of the feminine range. It's no surprise that it shows up. And irregardless of the logic of what's there, it is a completely delusional conversation that can be picked up by any woman. And when they are spewing it, it's not the person or human being that I'm experiencing or trying to build something with. It has no logic. It makes no sense. It just tears some shit apart and doesn't make, the very experience we're having, you being attracted to me, being with me, following me, and we talk about all these distinct things clearly because obviously what the fuck I do, and we can still have a conversation that breaks down, falls apart when this kind of premise comes up that we don't need men. And that's, I'm just entertaining it like, hey, food for thought, exercise. Okay, so to that, what about this data? Next thing I know, we're talking about racism. I feel like my black card is in question. And every survey, like, it became, bump that data that you've heard. Don't you know that this came from, and this is skewed, and this has been influenced? And these are facts. And to hear, I'm taking data on a spreadsheet, you're telling me these are facts, that data is not accurate. What?